Oh, here we go.
Tits.
Oh, hi everyone. You know that super duper delicious moment when you see a company that has gone against the grain and changed their marketing, which was working just fine the way it was, because a few whiny inclusion now people complained up a storm that their brand was problematic and not PC enough and that they needed to change things, evolve to cater to a new generation of but my feelings whingers. Isn't it just delicious when that same company realize they have made a huge mistake? And they almost always do, by shaking up the system, being more inclusive and trying to ram this message of we are so progressive now, look at our virtue, down your throats. They realize they have alienated the core demographic of their consumers and their sales are dropping dramatically. And in this particular case, we will be looking at the fall of Victoria's Secret. Now, I honestly have been so tuned out on what's going on at Victoria's Secret ever since they got rid of the sexy runway models. They stopped doing the iconic Victoria's Secret Angels runway shows to try and promote this kind of we are a every woman's feminist brand. Honestly, I think I tuned out around about the time they got that Megan raping hoe. What's her Rapinoe? I always say her fucking name wrong. Rapinoe?
Hi everyone, Megan Rapinoe here.
Fucking whatever. I tell you what, they put her in some gender non-conforming looking lingerie or whatever the hell it was. And it was like I was looking at a man-child's body. It was bad, okay? It was bad. That image made me stop wanting to look at Victoria's Secret forever and ever, okay? It was like a so-called woman's butch-ass man-child body in underwear. Megan raping hoeing my eyeballs. I felt violated. And I'm like, what the fuck has happened to Victoria's Secret? Why are they doing this to themselves? They had a good formula. Why are you making us look at fatties, non-gender conforming man-like bodies and all this other inclusive shit? What you sell is a fantasy. You sell the fantasy of what men want to fuck, straight men want to fuck, and what women wish they looked like so that men would want to fuck them. And that worked for you. It was like, you want to be sexy like these sexy ass bitches? You want to be an angel that can fly high and soar above the mediocre? Then buy our shit. It worked. Your formula was fine. So are you honestly surprised that this new angle you took, putting hippos in lingerie, strapping wings to them, and parading them down a runway, if there even is a runway anymore, like those elephants from the Jungle Book, a hop, 2, 3, 4, keep it up, 2, 3, 4. Were you honestly surprised that women weren't buying into that fantasy? We don't care about inclusion now. They want the fantasy. That's what makes them buy your product. They want to be just like the angels. And no matter how hard you push inclusion and try to make people feel guilty about it, no sane person with their feet firmly planted in reality is going to believe that if you strap a pair of wings on a hippo, they're going to take off and fly like an angel. Shit. So yeah, epic, huge mistake, Victoria's Secret. But it seems they have indeed seen the error of their ways. Sales have plummeted, the brand has become so unpopular that now they have vowed to bring sexy back. I'm bringing sexy back. Yeah. That's right, they are bringing back the sexy angels, the formula that worked for them. And in a way, they're kind of admitting that fatties in lingerie and bodies that are or are on the verge of looking like man's bodies in lingerie are not sexy, and that it will never be sexy because it didn't work. Because people don't want ugly, shitty reality and everyday women. They want the sexy, hot as fuck fantasy. Go woke, go broke. Victoria's Secret ditched its catwalk shows amid falling sales and a series of scandals, but it's now forced to bring sexy back after women decided they don't want a side of feminism with their frilly knickers. Cop it in the arse, feminism. Another fail for you. Feminism can go suck a dick and cup some man balls. Victoria's Secret is said to be ditching its feminist makeover in favour of sexiness once again, as it tries to reverse plunging sales. The lingerie brand was famed for its sultry catwalks, which featured the likes of Cara Delevingne and Miranda Kerr as its angels, strutting down the catwalk in 10-foot white feathered wings, thongs, basques, and marabou-trimmed wisps of nothingness. Who the fuck wrote this? Victoria's Secret angels were a global cultural phenomenon. That's right. It was a global cultural phenomenon. It was popular. It worked. So naturally, we had to change it. Uniformly tall, slim, and beautiful, stripped to their underwear, they were every heterosexual teenage boy's fantasy, while their sexy high-fashion glamour appealed to women. Like I said, men wanted to fuck, women wanted to look like the type that men wanted to fuck. The fantasy was profitable. But such marketing came under fire from campaigners, forcing the company to retire its shows. And while the US company's move to become a more inclusive retailer gained favourable reviews online, bunch of blue-head septum ring online agenda-pushing warriors, or bots probably, it never translated into sales. That's right, because these libtard feminist blue-head septum ring bitches are the ones who make the loudest, most irritating noise, while the vast majority of women who could not give a fuck just stay silent and let their wallets do the talking, or their husbands' wallets do the talking. They won't go out of their way to make a huge noise, they'll just stop buying your shit. As part of its rebrand, the firm, which was at one time synonymous with sexy, replaced supermodels with a more diverse range of brand ambassadors, including soccer player Megan Rapinoe and transgender model Valentina Sampaio. God. So they went with a woman who has a man-child's body, and then that wasn't enough. They actually went with a man's body that's put its chassis through the body shop to make it look more like a female's body. And you know what? I bet you the transgender body still looked more feminine than Rapinoe's. But the brand's efforts to promote inclusivity failing to halt falling sales, bosses are now looking to bring back the firm's sexiness, according to a report by CNN on Tuesday. You know what? Like I said, I kind of tuned out to what Victoria's Secret were even doing after they got rid of the sexy models. Let's take a look at some of their promotional videos, just so I can get a better understanding of how bad this inclusivity PC PR bullshit ran deep. Oh God, what the hell were they thinking? This is just everyday boring reality bitches. There's no more fantasy, there's nothing appealing about this. The whole thing about Victoria's Secret lingerie was that it had some sort of superpowers or something. That you could be the most basic, boring, ugly, fatty bitch ever, go buy this underwear, chuck it on, and all of a sudden you have queen status. You are sexy as fuck. When I look at this and I look at these plain Jane models, I just think, why the fuck would anyone justify spending $100 on a bra and undies or panties so that they could just look like everyday, basic, boring women? That's not exciting. There's no thrill in that. That campaign formula is crap. So yeah, it's no wonder they're reverting back to the way things were, when their sales hadn't dipped, when their brand was more popular. But you know what they'll do, and I bet you they will do this. They'll bring back the sexy as fuck runway models like how it used to be, but they'll throw in more inclusion just to keep everyone happy. And you know what? That's fine. That's smart business. You're doing your best to keep your primary demographic of consumers happy and giving the annoying inclusion now blue-haired ugly bitches something to be happy about as well. But let me tell you right now, it still won't be enough. They'll still be unhappy because feminism is an ideology based on whinging and victimhood status, and they'll never give that up. They'll always find something wrong. Something will always be problematic or sexist. So yeah, thanks for watching. Remember to check me out on BitChute, Odyssey, Rumble, and Twitter X, and I'll see you in the next one. Super hot, sexy OG Victoria's Secret models tits out, everyone.
Tits.